All right, guys, it's Copper Cutlass, and I am down here. As you can see, I got the engine down here today. Actually, this morning I went to Harbor Freight and I picked up the 1,000-pound like gardening cart they got. And what I did was I tipped the engine stand over. A bare block isn't that heavy, so I laid it on there. Took the stem off of the part of the stand from where the head mounts, and I put my ramps on the stairs. I screwed them down to the top of the stairs where I normally would anchor them, and I got it down here. It worked out pretty good, and I got it on the stand the same way. I didn't even use the winch that we have up there, but I'm actually probably going to change that. I'm going to buy one of the 12-volt, like 3,500-pound winches that, like the one I have on my trailer. I don't know if you ever made a video about that, but I got one of the 3,500-pound winches with a snatch block, and it works really good. For our use, I'm going to use it to unbolt it from here and bolt it outside. I'll put ground anchors into my patio with some angle iron. That way we can control it as it's going up the stairs and not worry about it. But the cart did its job, and it's actually very stable. But that cart is also going to be modified and set up to hold a fuel cell, battery tray, electronics and gauges, but not be permanent. Everything is going to be removable, and when we need to use it as an engine run stand, we just install those components on there and it should be good. But also what I want to do is I want to take an engine stand, cut it, and then weld some bracing on here and set it so we can rotate it and work on the engine on the cart. But for now, this is the thing. I got the parts washer operational today. I got some Zep 50 citrus cleaner, and it works great. I cleaned a couple of parts. I cleaned the push rods. And then when I was done, I gave them a transmission fluid bath just to keep them clean. But of course, as you guys know, even though we've cleaned these, we're going to go ahead and give them a quick blast of brake cleaner or something of equal, since I'm working in the house, we have to get creative. So I would probably use something like 409, spray 409, and just spray these down, spray them through the hollow point where the oil would flow, drain them out. I cleaned the timing chain and the gear, and I coated the chain with transmission fluid. Next thing is to clean the pistons, and the crosshatch on these cylinder walls are like perfect, but I think I'm going to go ahead and give them a quick dingle ball hone just for a new finish. And I'm going to install new rings because I really want to clean up these pistons and have everything good. We also have to clean up our rocker arms. So we got a lot of small stuff to do now that we're kind of set up. And as you can see, I got my puke can down here. So we're going to be cleaning the block with pretty much just soapy water, brushes, and, going through the oil galley area. And we got to pin our restrictors, make sure they're all clear, and, get everything ready for assembly. I have to pick up my cylinder heads. I think maybe next week or the following week, I'm going to take the drive up to my buddies and grab them. And so I can get this thing together. I mean, this thing we have everything for it. And then once it's together, the fun part is going to be cobbling up an oil pump pickup setup, because I'm using the old Kenny Bell oil pan. So I bought like 3 different pickups for the bends, and then that way I'll be able to weld up the tubes to the optimum height, which you want the pickup approximately like 1/8 of an inch from the floor of the pan, so that you don't try to suck the pan through the pickup, if that's even possible. But sometimes you see the pickups with little straps. We might do something like that on the pickup just to keep it positively apart from the pan, which is what I'm leaning towards. We got to clean up our crankshaft. Obviously, it's right here. I am having a beer. It's New Year's Eve. But I'm excited to have everything in here. We do have a lot of cleanup. We got a lot of stuff to do, but we're actually better set up than last year, to be honest with you. And we have all our parts for the engine. Now, I got parts on my cart. And by cart, I mean Summit. They don't pay me. I don't want to say their name, but I've been buying parts from Summit Racing for over 20 years. And, but I got a spool on order, ring gear on order. I'm going to go ahead and update the fuel pump as well. The Holly Blue has been good, but it's been in there for a while. I'm going to go ahead and order a new fuel filter system. Now, another thing too is I can either do a new fuel filter and a new pump, but I'm leaning towards the fuel and pump combo from like Magna Fuel. I think it's Magna Fuel. It's like a $500 pump, and that would work out real nice too. So I'm looking at upgrading that, and we need slicks. I'm going to buy new drag radials. I'm going to go with like a Pro Bracket radial, and then, or an ET Street. The ET Streets really work good for us as well. But I'm also going to change the front tires. I want to go to a taller tire in the front. I've never been happy with the ones I got, but I am liking the way that the new front runners that Mickey Thompson has, I believe they are the R series, like ET Street, where they got like 2 ribs and then like some sipes like in the middle. And then I think I might send out my shocks to QA1 because the left rear has been leaking for quite some time, so it's really not doing anything. I'm sure it's not dampening at all. There's a lot of little things. But the main thing that the car is going to get is going to be the ring gear change, upgrade the fuel pump, and that's all really minor maintenance stuff, to be honest with you. It's just going to be swap over stuff, and I'll be taking the rear end out of the car to do the setup. And then I'm going to be helping my buddy with his transmission rebuild for his Ford. He's going from a stick to an auto, and then I may, depending on how things go, I may build a Turbo 400, a Turbo 350 just to have it. I actually, one of the reasons for that is I might put a hitch on the Pontiac and tow with that, because how cool would it be to tow with that car? It's a full frame car. It's boxed. It's got 342 gears. It would definitely haul the hay. Just as good, if not better, than the little Wheezy 5.3 that's in the Suburban that's still working pretty good. But on that note, I figured I'd let you guys know that we are making moves here to go forward with this engine build. Now, the only input I would like is what you guys would like to see. I know in the past I may have just given you the numbers. I don't know if you guys want to see how I measure things out. I mean, there's the better sites, and there's a reason why I don't get too in depth, because there's way better sources than I, as a novice hobby builder, out there. But I can surely show you guys what I'm using and what I'm working with. So just let me know. As always, share, like, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram as Copper Cutlass. And we're getting set up to have a fun winter, as it's actually finally starting to get cold out here in the Chicagoland area. So we got a ways to go on our build, but we have everything. So we'll let you go.